Yo, what's good, everybody, and welcome back to episode 26 of the TheStankCast. On today's episode of the cast, me and Cowie are joined by the Scottish area super welterweight champion, Corey McCulloch. Corey, it's a pleasure to have you on the pod. How you getting on?
Here, my man. Yeah,
My
good.
fucking glasses are
All's
steaming
well.
up straight away. Glasses steamed up straight away.
Sweaty
Must have been
forehead.
nervous. How you been getting on, Corey? Everything?
Superb,
Glad to have
man.
you on, mate.
Yeah.
Big things coming up. You've got a big fight coming up in October on the zone.
2 weeks. 2 weeks on Saturday.
Yeah.
7th October. This will be the biggest one to date for sure.
Yeah, it's
100%.
very close, and you're obviously in camp now.
Yeah.
So talk to me about how that's going. How you feeling?
This one isn't actually. None of them. I was actually saying that at training at night. None of our training camps. No training camp ever goes to plan.
Okay.
Every time we start, every time you get 10 weeks usually. If you get a full 8 weeks notice, you think, right, I'm going to write everything down. Everything's going to be perfect. Nothing goes to plan.
What's been going wrong this time?
Well, this last 2 weeks ago, I was unwell for a couple of days. Now my partner's been unwell, and we've got a young baby.
Yeah.
He's 14 months. So
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
Best
Thing ever. Boxing aside, nothing's relevant.
That's class to hear.
This is
good.
he's the only thing that's relevant just now. Hence why taking fights like this.
Can really help.
Yeah, win, lose or draw. The financial benefit from it is huge.
Yeah.
So Christmas, Santa will be good to mark this year.
That's very
For
good,
sure.
man. Class. I'm glad you're getting some
Oh,
that's well out of it. Like,
a lot of boys in the position I'm in just now. You're offered these fights against top guys that are levels above. Like, these guys are full time.
yeah,
They're well funded. They've got the best training camps around.
they have like
That's all they do.
extensive amateur careers and that. Yeah,
These guys are the elite of the
been
elite.
boxing since they were 8 and all that.
And then
Yeah.
they offer good money for guys like myself that maybe looks good on paper,
Yeah,
but I mean, anything can happen. You can always go and cause a big upset. But
which is what we're hoping for.
100%.
if that happens, it happens often. But that's the way the business works. You pay guys like me. Up in Scotland, I'm a champion, and on paper, to all the punters that are going to be paying and going to the show,
Yeah,
they look at that and go, "Fuck, that looks good.
it's going to be a good
That's going to be a good fight." When all the people that know about boxing know this guy's levels above me.
Right,
And
okay.
But that's why you're paid so well. You're paid well because you know the risk that's involved. 90% of the people going down to these fights, if you're the B side, you know there's a very small chance of pulling it off.
Obviously, we did a little bit of looking, and this boy that you're fighting, he's won all of his fights by knockout, apart from his last one, which he won on
Yeah.
points, but that was against someone.
English champion.
Yeah, 10 and 0. So it's a big task you've got in front of you. Like,
mega. But
and
then
what do you think you have to take it on, man? Well, what in your head thinks I can do that?
no pressure.
Nah.
There's no pressure from me whatsoever.
That's good,
I go
yeah.
down there, if I get stopped in 30 seconds or in the 8th round, it's irrelevant. I walk away with the same money.
Yeah.
I've got nothing to lose. I'm the one going down taking the risk.
You can. And
All
you can
the odds are stacked against me. If I go down there and get beat, nobody thinks twice.
Yeah.
Move on to the next fight. If he loses,
yeah.
his projection is ski whiff.
Yeah.
He's like, everything changes for him, which.
And you go like that.
Oh, if I pull that off, I catapult to the top.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It opens a lot of doors. Potential rematch to right his wrongs, because obviously he shouldn't be getting beat by me.
Yeah.
And if he does, but then if they come back and offer me the same money, no chance.
Yeah.
Nah, I'll have to be more
So
really.
if they want to right the wrongs,
Yeah.
if I did pull it off, then pretty positive that if he had to fight me again, it'd be the other way around. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he would have to pay me well to accept the fight, because the way it should usually go, if I beat him, I'll be like, I'm not going to near him again.
Yeah. I'll take it and run, man.
Why would I take that risk?
No,
I've
no.
pulled it off.
Prove yourself. Aye.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So, yeah, anything can happen. It's happened to me. I've been put down multiple times in fights from just being.
I saw one of your interviews. You said, "Expect me to get knocked
Yeah,
out." You watch me
100%.
fight. Expect me to go down.
I don't box to try and to be the best or to try and. I just enjoy fighting.
Yeah.
That is
That's
it.
apparent from watching you, mate.
It's
Honestly,
just
it
that's
is.
all I like it for. Whereas a lot of people are so dedicated to the game. Don't get me wrong, I train hard. I always have done train
Yeah.
hard. Because if you don't, I don't make a mockery of the sport.
Because
by just showing up to fight.
there is an art being able to do the movement. It's
I never
unbelievable.
realised, my
footwork.
amateur career, it was I was on and off. I would train maybe 3-4 weeks, have an amateur fight. But I smoked my whole time through my amateur career. I had no interest. I just fucking enjoyed the fight. So I'd show up, and I mean, one round, it was 2-minute rounds we done as an amateur.
Yeah.
And it was always free. 2 minutes rounds, that's all we would do. And I would struggle after the first.
Blowing it
Fitness, because I never once thought I would see the day where I was boxing 10 rounds at a professional level.
Because me and Cowie were watching a fight of yours. It was the rematch when you had, what was the boy's name? Jamie. The only Fraser. Yes. We watched that one, and you're sorry, and your cardio looked unreal.
Yeah, well, that's
unreal.
Probably my biggest strength when I've had a proper good training camp. I feel good. I've had plenty sparring. My main strength is I'm relentlessly going forward. I enjoy going forward. I don't mind taking a punch. Hence why I get caught quite a lot and clipped.
Because you like to fight in the pocket.
I just like going forward, and you really need to have because my boxing ability isn't like these top amateurs. It's far from it. I need to compensate by being rough and tough and dragging them into my
deep
fight.
waters.
If I stand on the end of somebody's punches, somebody that's really talented,
that's smart boxing.
My head out. So just go forward. Like, I maybe need to take 3-4 punches before I get one of mine off. But
that was what was happening in that fight. You were taking 2 or 3, but every time you were coming in with heavier punches and affecting him a lot more. You saw his head jotting back a lot in that fight.
If I'm fit, I can grind most people down. At the level I'm at, but you could outbox me for 5-6 rounds, but 7, 8, 9, you're going to get tired, and I'm just going to get stronger.
That was actually really good to watch. They'd say that's exactly what you're doing. You see, he got to a level where he his gas just started dropping, and then the body shots were coming in.
I was
the
honestly,
shots were
all I felt after the first few rounds in that fight, when I was coming back to the corner, I was like, "Fuck, man, I'm actually feeling a bit fatigued. I think I'm going downhill." And I'm sure it was the 4th, and then it was obviously stopped him in the 5th. But going into the 5th, I was like, no, I could tell he was slowing, and I could feel it in me. I just know I'm not gassed. I'm tired, obviously. It's a hard sport.
Waiting for that second wind.
But I just feel it coming, and it's just getting stronger and stronger. So
your punches didn't seem to lose the power. It obviously stopped in the 5th, but they didn't seem to lose it.
It just got stronger and stronger. Because I was really fit. We won the first fight. Fight before that was with him up in Elgin. It was Elgin. And obviously not long had the wee man, and up most nights with him, like enjoying being a dad. Boxing was just, I couldn't really give a shit. I actually thought I underestimated him, and I thought
you were going to
half-assed. I could do well. There was multiple things that went wrong. My coach Shug, he was in the hospital the last 2 weeks of the camp. The fight was going to be pulled, but more people would have lost out. Like, all the show's been put together, and the show probably wouldn't have went ahead just before Christmas. People saying their worst night out, whatnot. The show probably wouldn't have went ahead if I pulled out. So I thought, just go, get paid, have a nice Christmas. Underestimated him, and to be fair to Fraser, he boxed well that night. But yeah, I felt I had to right my wrong.
And he came back stronger in that second.
I had to. You
just overpowered him, man.
I had to put a full effort into camp for that, 100%.
It shows you the commitment you really have to take for each fight, because you don't know who's coming at you.
You cannot. I fought a boy that I actually speak to now, Chris Woods. I fought him in Hamilton Football Stadium. And he's tough. He's tough as nails, that man. But I underestimated him. I thought I was going to go and breeze it. It's only 4 rounds. I thought, no bother. I had a good camp. I was actually meant to be boxing 2 weeks after that, and I got asked to fight on that show early. But I was fit, I was ready. And then when I boxed him, that was a big realisation of, if you underestimate somebody in there, even though you're fit, just being thrown off that guard, like, oh shit, I'm actually in a real fight. Everyone out the window.
Well, you don't know what they're coming in as well. You don't know what mindset they're coming in. You know, like, they could have had a switch or something changed with their
I don't know how much you know about the journeyman role in boxing. You know, that's
kind of
mostly, journeyman's role is to play the game with you. They're there to test you, bring you on. Like they're there just to go through the motions, but these guys are
Give boys experience and stuff.
exactly. So if you to put it into perspective, boxing's a very dangerous sport.
Mm-hmm.
So if you had a guy like myself, you have your debut fight, right? Never experienced having these little gloves on with strong men,
Yeah.
and you go and fight somebody that's maybe had 2 or 3 fights. Both you guys are 50-50, really wanting to hurt each other.
Mm-hmm.
You've never done it before. Your lack of experience.
So someone's
and then
going to get hurt.
somebody could potentially get really hurt. So
Yeah.
these journeymen, I'm pretty sure this is the reason why they're in the sport. But like, if you're unexperienced, then they'll take you through the motions,
Show you the
they'll
ropes, so to
give you a
speak.
good
Yeah.
dunt to see like this is what it feels like.
Yeah.
If you're not if you're not conditioned enough, if you've half-assed trained, you think you're going to breeze it, they'll put it on you, and 9 times out of 10 they'll beat you.
Yeah.
If you go in there half-assed, they'll
Yeah.
make you look
Well,
stupid.
they're there to show you the levels, innit?
Yeah.
That's what they're there
And
to
if
do.
you go
and-
and take the piss and like see, if I don't know if you YouTube journeyman winning, right, you'll see a lot of the boys at the fight. They're maybe like 4-0 up and coming prospect in a show down south somewhere.
Yeah.
And the prospect will stick his tongue out and wind the journeyman up and confront all his pals that are watching. He'll be cocky. The journeyman, they're not there to take this shit.
Nah.
So they'll see that and be like, do you know what? Fuck you. Tonight's the night I'm going to get a win.
Yeah.
They'll put it on you, man. These guys are... There's no
They're
tougher
well-versed.
guys like this.
Yeah.
They're just hard. They do this week in, week out.
Yeah.
The box. Like...
Aye, there's a guy on the website that has like everyone's record, and he's like 200 and
Yeah.
245 and 1 or something like
Yeah.
that. Somebody was like, "Oh, I feel bad for whoever that one is."
Yeah.
Some people...
Must
like,
have pissed them off.
people look at that and they think, fuck, he's terrible.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
like, I fought a guy on my debut, a guy called Jordan Granham,
Mhm.
right? This guy won multiple amateur, the equivalent of our Scottish championships here in amateurs. He won down south,
Okay.
which is
Okay.
it's a bigger deal down south.
Yeah, they take a
Obviously,
lot more.
England being bigger, it's
There's more money in that, innit?
100%. This guy won that 3 or 4 times on the trot, turned pro,
Okay.
was ready to take on the world. Could have went, like a lot of people said, to British level. He was that good, but he couldn't generate a lot of money with ticket sales. And
Right. Okay.
so promoters
Didn't touch him.
You're not
Mm-hmm.
you're not a tick in their box. So he went on the road as a journeyman, and he was bought. Like, this guy could wipe the floor with most of the people he's fought.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, you look at his record. He's had maybe 5 wins in like 70
Yeah.
fights, 80 fights.
I don't know.
I mean, people look, he's terrible. Like, if people go and see the fights that I've got, if I fought a journeyman at the start of my career, people would go on BoxRec where you can see everybody's records.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll see, fucking hell, this guy's had 70 fights, he's won 2. This is going to be an easy night's work, but it doesn't work like that.
No,
These
no.
guys are nails.
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Yeah.
tough, but
Well, like you say, they're well versed, innit? They're
Oh,
well versed in the
mega,
sport. If they've had
mega.
that many fights, how much experience do you think they've got? You know,
scary
just to
how
apply
good
that
they
type
are.
of pressure.
For some of them, it'll just be like rocking up to get paid to have a spar with somebody and let them win.
That's,
Yeah.
that's,
just
that's,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
have a wee spar,
essentially
let them
what it
win,
is.
boom, take the money. Yeah.
We've thought about it. I think about it quite a lot, because the money you make as a pro fighting 4 times a year, like if I had fights like I've got in a couple of weeks, be fine. I would do this full time.
Yeah.
But all the other fights, if you don't sell a lot of tickets, you don't get paid.
Yeah.
You don't get paid enough
Yeah.
to go full time. So I do this this is like my 4th year pro now. If I continue for another 2 years trying to climb the ladder, maybe get another couple of fights like I've got, I'm not going to walk away with a lot.
No.
Whereas you can make a couple of grand fighting every single week,
Yeah. It's different.
do
Yeah.
that full time for 3, 4. It's not good for your brain, but you do that for 4
Yeah,
or 5
yeah.
years. The money you could walk away with, you could go invest it in property or something like that. You can
Yeah.
actually, once you walk away from boxing, you've got something to show for it.
Yeah.
You've got
There's
something to
actually
take
more
you back.
chance of sustainability if
Yeah.
you do it that way in there.
Whereas the way that I'm going just now,
I never thought about it like that.
big fights like this are great, but you don't get them all the time unless you win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I've told you before, it doesn't always happen. Like
No.
90% of the time, the guys in my position don't win.
Yeah.
So
That's
How do
alright.
you-
You can be the 10%, man.
Oh,
You can
well,
be the 10%. We're
you never
geared up for it.
know.
Like.
Worse things have happened. Honestly, there's been upsets where you can watch on the TV. Joshua for one of them.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I've been
Like that
watching
Andy-
them, man,
Andy
yeah.
Ruiz.
Andy
yeah,
Ruiz
yeah,
did,
yeah,
like
that
you
was
watch
mental.
that and you're like, dude,
What's
come on.
happening?
Yeah.
And he batters. I mean, like, how does that work?
Yeah.
That's
Man.
an upset. That's a huge upset.
The biggest, yeah.
Yeah, that was wild.
Scary,
But,
man.
How do you normally find your turnouts? Like, do you get a lot of people coming for you?
Initially, yeah. Initially, it was quite good. It's new because just as it stands, there's not a lot of pros in Angus.
No, it doesn't seem to be.
Just now, I've been the most active boxer, even in the amateurs. I've been more active as a pro than amateurs from Arbroath. But as it tails on, like travelling down to Glasgow, it's a big commitment.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Like, it's not cheap. Tickets nowadays, after COVID and stuff. During COVID, there was still some shows running, but they had to do tests and that. So ticket prices went up for all the punters.
Yeah.
So sometimes you're about £100 for your ticket, right?
Yeah.
Then you need to get transport down to Glasgow.
Hotel and everything.
Hotel if you're staying over, booze.
Yeah.
Money
And
for
then
your
you
whole
feel
night
like
out.
shit the next day.
Yeah.
And then your whole like, a lot of boys get the bus down when I'm boxing, and the whole experience is fine on the way down. Everybody's having a great time.
Yeah.
Then everybody's tanked up, coming home, feeling like shit, spewing on the bus. They get home at 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, and they need to walk back to their house.
Yeah, and get
And
up
it's,
for work.
or they go to parties and they make an absolute cunt of it the weekend. And then when the next time you say you come to a fight, they're like, "Oh fuck that, no way."
I've not got
man.
the funds.
That's it's just not.
I can't do that to myself.
I wish people would be smarter and come to the. But you can't expect people to come to the bus, have a salad on the way down, watch the fight.
No, they make a day of it though. That's what it's all about, innit? They make a
But
day
you
of it.
can't. It's hard. Like if ideally, I'd like to fight every weekend, but as a
Because the closest
pro-
place for you is what? Caird Hall.
Caird Hall's the closest I've boxed,
Yeah.
and then it'd be Aberdeen. Aberdeen
Right.
shows are, I think there's maybe 2 a year.
There's
3
not
a
that
year.
many in the Caird either, is there?
No, well that was there was one the year before,
Yeah.
and I'm sure I was meant to be boxing 2 weeks after that. I was already booked in, so I never boxed at the Caird Hall because the Caird Hall is perfect for me. But you can't. If you imagine putting that on 4 or 5 times a year, the novelty wears off.
Yeah. Although do you not? I think if it was more accessible, people would go and watch it. You know what I mean? Like,
if I owned a bus,
yeah,
that'd be fun.
yeah, bus people down.
The bus, getting a bus down there is mega
Yeah,
expensive.
it can be a pain.
But hopefully, there's been talks of it. I've been promised it, that show to take, and I think maybe February next year, have a home show. So a homecoming show for myself.
That would be good. Yeah.
But it's just trying to find a venue to have it first. 'Cause you've got the community centre,
Yeah.
but that's shut down for COVID just now.
Yeah, they were doing a test and
So
that
they're
there,
still
weren't they?
doing shite
Okay.
there. And then you've got Condor. There's been amateur shows there, so it's quite good at Condor. But
Right.
you think all your mates,
Trying to get in there
Oh
again,
my
pissed
God,
up.
I don't want my
Imagine
mates pissed in a
everybody-
military base.
like,
Like,
you go up there in
Yeah.
the bus, that's all good and well, right?
Getting it.
You imagine trying to get everybody back.
People
Like
going
so and so's
missing
missed
and
the
that, you know what I
bus,
mean?
and then
Aye.
they're walking on that dark road. And
Yeah,
somebody's
yeah.
definitely getting hit by a car.
Aye.
And then what is it? Corey McCulloch fights in Condor. Fucking 20-year-old gets hit by a car. Like that. I don't want that to relate. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. I was still in talks, and when that's nothing's official yet, but that is the plan.
Yeah,
for
there's
early
not
next
really
year.
much in Arbroath for that.
No.
There's not.
size-wise, it's a
that.
proper issue for an event like that.
What about Gayfield?
But
Here,
we fought in like that fight I had at Hamilton Football Stadium.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What about Gayfield, man?
Imagine the beautiful day, Monday
Yeah.
to Friday, and then the Saturday, you get a typical Arbroath windy, rainy
yeah,
day.
on the roof, yeah.
You'd be the
You'd be
rain
gutted.
it would just
Yeah.
and then the cost of the setups. The more setup you hate to do, the more money
Yeah.
tickets need to be, more people need to come. So
If it was in Arbroath, though, yeah, it would sell it. I'm telling you, if it was in
yeah,
Arbroath,
yeah,
it
I
would
think
sell it.
Arbroath would be great.
If it was at the Gayfield, it would sell it.
There's
as
never
well.
ever been a pro show here.
No.
And don't quote me on this, but I don't think there's ever been a pro show in Angus. A
okay.
a professional boxing show ever.
I'm trying to think of where it would be the best place to even have it.
Ideally, it would have to be in Arbroath. I know there's
Yeah.
other venues where you could have it, but because I stay here, I
yeah.
feel because I'm the first person that would be doing it.
Carrying the flag.
I want it
Yeah,
to
yeah.
be here. It wouldn't feel right doing it anywhere else, but I'm sure we'll figure something out.
Yeah, because size-wise, how many people... Because the
I don't know the
Webster's
size of
decent, but it's only like... The Webster's only got like 250 seats or something, which isn't that many.
Which I mean, that'd be the less seats, the more the higher the price.
yeah,
ticket
yeah,
has to be.
yeah.
Don't know if the Webster's got a space for it, though, does it?
If you put the ring,
Oh,
it'd just
yeah.
be a bit weird.
If you put it on this,
fucking
yeah,
everyone's
everyone's
looking
at
boxing,
the same
everybody
angle.
looking
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
It's been done before. I just
Yeah, I've seen MMA shows where it's just all pointed
Everybody-
down
yeah.
at the cage and stuff like that. So
if it was the last resort, fuck, then it's. I want to be the first person to do it. That's
yeah,
I've done well more than what I thought I was ever going to do. Initially, it was have a pro fight, win, lose or draw. You can say you've done it.
Done it.
yeah,
You're older.
yeah,
I didn't honestly never once thought I would have another one.
Do you think you would ever be fighting for a title?
No,
Never.
no,
You never thought.
boy, Dean Sutherland.
I saw you had a fight with him, man.
Well, we got pally through boxing.
Okay.
Because he used to train in Dundee at the SkyX gym.
Yeah.
And I used to train with him there. So we kind of got pally, trained together through multiple caps, fought on loads of shows together. On my debut, on May 4th, whatever fucking year it was,
2019, I think it was.
he fought for a Celtic title.
Okay.
Right, so I boxed him a debut thinking, just, Corey, it doesn't fucking matter what happens. Just say you've had a full fight. Well done. Good on you. And he fought for the title. And I mind when he came back in, I was chatting, he had this belt, and I was like, fucking hell, man. But he was obviously...
How old was he then?
Dean must have
40
been
years ago.
22, 21, I don't know. But I mind seeing that and think, fucking hell, that's cool as fuck. I would love that. But I would love it, just like I would like to be a millionaire.
Yeah,
like, I would love it, but there's no chance. You know what I mean? I never once fought, and then I think it was not last year, the year before, I had a whole year I was booked to fight for the welterweight title.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we had 3 or 4 opponents that agreed. Everyone was set in stone. One of them was last minute, but then pulled out last minute.
Even more last minute.
Yeah. So we got 2 weeks. I think it was 2 weeks. It was on the Hydro, like the Hydro show. I still boxed on the show, but it was just a journeyman. I was fighting. But somebody else was offered to fight on that show, the fucking Hydro, for a Scottish title, 10 rounds. And he was training for the fight. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't like he was coming off the couch to fight. He was fit. And he said no.
For what? Did he give you a reason? That just too scared?
Honestly, man, I got the call. I was meant to fight on it against the guy for the title.
That was your last fight? No,
that was 3 fights ago.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, I was watching this one because you were meant to fight for the title and then it got cancelled and you ended up fighting. What was his name?
Jake. There was a boy.
Goodman.
Osgood or something.
Really
nice guy.
Instead, yeah.
But so the fight was cancelled. That was it. I wasn't on the show anymore, and I was devastated. Not because I lost another title fight, because that would have been the 3rd time somebody had pulled out.
Yeah.
But I was like fighting in the Hydro, man. Like,
yeah.
When I'm older, I can be like, I've boxed in the Hydro.
Yeah, that's mental.
You see it on like STV News and stuff.
Yeah.
In the background, you're like, I fucking boxed there.
yeah.
It's just cool.
It
would have been nice to fight for the title on it. But I was once the title fight was cancelled, I was devastated. I wasn't going to box there. Then I got a call like 2 weeks prior saying, look, we can fight back on it. We're going to try and get it again so and so for the Scottish title. And then there was something to do with money. And then it was, it's all go. So that was it. And then it was like 4 hours later, the fight's off.
Oh, for fucking hell.
That's stressful, man.
It was just a
up
year.
Up and down, man.
My first title fight was supposed to, whatever year this was that I'm on about, the first one was January 19th, I'm sure. It was like a burn supper night.
Right.
And I never fought for a title till December. So from January, and I had to jump up weight to fight Fraser for it in Elgin.
Yeah.
Was it the fault? No, I think it was the same year. But that whole year,
so you jump up weight to do the super welterweight.
So I was supposed to box at welterweight for the whole year.
Yeah.
And then it just wasn't going ahead. So then
we couldn't find a fight, and then you went up to super welterweight.
Super welterweight.
Right. Okay, that's interesting.
Which for this fight in 2 weeks, this is even heavier. Not by much. It's only a couple of kilograms.
Yeah. You've got no problem making the weight. So.
No, just now I think because I was unwell, not last week, the week before. Like I never ate much for a few days.
Yeah.
The weight fucking came down great. Like, this has been perfect.
What do you normally walk around at, like?
You asked me that 3-4 years ago, but I said about 82 kilo, and then I would have to get down to 70 to fight.
Yeah.
But now I walk about 74, 75.
So it's not
I
much
always
of a weight
watch
cut
what I'm
anyway.
eating now.
Yeah.
Whereas before, as soon as I fought, that was me. Like,
so you would say you've taken it a wee bit more. You're thinking about it more in depth and that what you eat and that.
More, yeah, but.
Is it because you don't get a lot of notice sometimes for the fights?
No, it's I think it's weird. After you win a fight, like years when my first 3-4 fights, maybe once I won them, it was like, and you're on top of the world.
Yeah.
You feel great you've done that. Like 9 times out of 10, it's been fucking journeyman.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't done much, man. You've just you've just leveled up. You've just notched a wee bit in your career. like fucking
Experience
settle
point.
down.
Yeah.
You don't need to go to the pub every second weekend now.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
take takeaways all week. You're no celebrity.
No,
like,
no,
but
no.
it was just a buzz. It was good. And then the more experience they got, and the more the more kind of family orientated they got, the more it was like, just instead of taking the piss and going out all the time, just
Think
train
about
all the time. Just
longevity. now.
just look after yourself.
Yeah.
Walk like.
You got to think of longevity as well if you're going to
100%.
keep doing it. You know.
I don't. I think I'm going to be pretty lost when once it's all done and dusted.
Yeah.
Which I don't see. I think I've got my peak now. I've got the wee man and stuff now, so I don't know how many fights I've got left in me. Because 8 weeks, it's so hard. So my son doesn't go to his bed till about 8:30 at night, and I like putting him to his bed.
Yeah.
Me and Madsen, we waited like 7 years to try and have this kid.
Yeah.
And then when it's here, I was like, I'm not wasting no fucking time.
That's
Even
good
when he's
though.
crying, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'll get up and spend time with you.
Yeah.
You can cry in my face all you fucking want.
Mhm.
I've waited so long
Yeah.
to have you.
fair.
That's good, man.
But when you put him to bed at 8:30, the last thing you want to fucking do is go to a gym till 10,
Yeah.
come home, and then I work for myself. I've got my own business, so I need to get up at the crack of dawn to sort that. It's just it's been quite stressful just now. So I don't know how long I've got left in me.
How old did you say the wee man was?
14 months.
So this is probably the hardest time for you, innit,
Yeah.
as well.
If he started going to his bed a bit earlier and he was sleeping all night, or he was sleeping before I went to, if he was sleeping after I had already went to my work,
Yeah.
I could train in the morning,
Mhm.
which I used to do, but I can't now because he gets up at 5:30, 6.
Yeah.
I get up
constant.
with him until
Yeah.
I go to my work. So
It's hard.
It's trying to find that balance, man. It's difficult. Really
Nah,
difficult.
mixing in being a new dad is always difficult. It's always challenging for anyone.
Oh.
Especially you're running a business as well, you know.
Yeah.
So to even be doing as much as you are, to get the big opportunity on a card like that, someone that you deserves it, man, because you're
Oh,
working hard
100%.
hard
It's-
enough, you know.
I think a lot of boys they fight journeymen for like 6, 7, 8 onwards fights, and they've got no defeat. So on paper they're fantastic, and then the likes of Eddie Hearn and that get in contact, and you get these big fights because on paper you've got this prospect like the boy I'm going to fight
Yeah.
versus a guy that's like that boy just fought 10-0
Yeah.
on paper. Fucking hell, this is a big test for him. This is great.
Yeah.
When in reality it's not. The guy's really good,
Because they've both been. Yeah.
and the boys that he's fighting isn't it?
Journeyman.
He's fought guys that are playing the game
Yeah.
for 10 fights, but on paper for your normal punter it's like, fucking hell, this guy's legit. He's gonna give him trouble,
Yeah.
and he does it. And then the prospect looks even better because he's just beat a 10. The guy's never had a fight in his life. He's just fought journeymen that are letting him off the hook. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So getting this, like I've never shied away from a fight. I've always took risky fights because it's more fun than fucking chasing a journeyman around the ring. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You got to challenge yourself, man. You got to
Yeah,
put
you need to
yourself
have-
out there.
Yeah, if you say you like fighting, you're going to fight somebody that's really trying to throw back.
Like,
Like,
I
someone that's-
hated fighting journeymen because they're awkward, but you need to do it. It's like an apprenticeship. You have to go through it. But it's not a fight. Like if they're playing the game the way they usually would,
It's a lesson, isn't it?
yeah, you don't. It's not really a toe to toe. Like a lot of the time, I go into home and not a mark on my face, which that's not a good fight to me.
No, it's not what.
I want
that's
to
not what
wake
people come
up
to pay for it
fucking in
either.
the morning like sad as fuck, like
grunting
that was
black eyes.
yeah,
man.
like this was a proper fight and feel good about it.
Yeah.
So I've kind of done it. I've earned everything that I've got because the way the business works, if you're a big ticket seller, you'll be pathed a lot
Quicker.
more through
Yeah.
with better fights, bigger opportunity because you generate more of this. Whereas I didn't. So I've took risk after risk. Some have paid off, some haven't. Got my title shot.
Yeah.
Fucked it.
Won it
Lucky
again.
enough to got the rematch, and then proved what was supposed to happen the first time.
Yeah.
And now it's the same again. Fucking another risky fight. I'm not going to turn it down.
No, I'm surprised to hear boys have turned down title fights with you. You know what I mean? That's surprising.
The first boy, I think he was on his way out. He was thinking about giving it up.
Right.
So,
Okay.
I don't know. I've been there myself. So you get your 8 weeks to train. First 3 weeks aren't that good. You still think you've got time left. You give it another week's training. You just don't feel it. Like the last thing you want to do is go in there and get wiped out. Because you're not trained hard. And he was he had the title, so he had everything. He actually ended up had to vacate it.
Okay.
So that's how it, and then it was me and another boy that hurt his shoulder, and I think he was been out for a good while. So I'm sure that was a legit thing.
Legit answer, legit reasoning.
And then it was twice he pulled out, and then another one I don't know the reason. It was just a no.
Money wasn't right or something.
Yeah, it's just one of these things. But we got there in the end.
Because you're watching your footage back, you're an awkward fighter. Like, you like to fight on the inside a lot.
Oh yeah.
I notice like you're always in the face. Like, you never give your opponent a chance.
It's probably not good for you, but
it's entertaining.
It's more
though.
exciting.
It's definitely entertaining. That's what people want to see. You know what I mean? You're giving the punters what they want to see.
Oh, 100%.
I saw your fight got called one of the best fights of 2022.
Yeah,
That's
that
mental.
last one.
Yeah.
It was great. It was Fraser. He's a great boxer. He's a level above me boxing ability. I knew.
Yeah, you could outdo him. Mm-hmm.
Like if I'm fit, I'm relentless, and I'll come forward forever.
Yeah.
Like you can outbox somebody for so long, but eventually, like if you're on the back foot, you need to be switched on the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've got some fucking idiot like me
just throwing,
your toes, you're eventually going to start diving.
You didn't give him a second to break, man. It was
No,
really
that,
impressive.
That
like,
was the plan.
Really didn't smother them.
If you had to score that fight before the stoppage, it would have actually been pretty 50-50. But in a
3-2,
normal fight, he would probably outpoint me no problem.
Right.
5-6 rounds, but then after that, it'd be all my fight.
Yeah. Okay.
100%.
That was really like I really enjoyed watching them, and talking about the fight coming up. It's on a big card as well. The Warrington Wood card. It's a massive card, man, isn't it? Like, how do you feel about being on such a big card like that?
I don't know. I never
Have you thought about it like that yet?
I actually had a message from a pal that says, how does it feel seeing your face alongside William Warren? And I was like, I've not even thought about it.
It's mental, man. It's mental.
I know it's a big show, but I didn't. The magnitude of the show is massive, because that'll be a great fight, and it'll actually just be good. I get paid to be there.
Yeah.
I get paid to have a good scrap, and then I get to watch this. It's a win-win for me, regardless of what happens in my fight.
That's a good biggest opportunity.
I think that'll be one of the biggest shows this year.
Yeah, it will be
sure.
For sure. It will be. It's such a big card, man. There's title contender on it.
I think there's two title fights. Obviously, a lot can change in the next 2 weeks, but
and the title eliminator is the third last fight. What are you? The fourth fight on the card?
I've no idea.
Something like that.
No idea. I don't ask
for
any information.
Oh, okay.
I just. What time do I need to be there?
Yeah. What time's the scrap?
Yeah, I don't. I don't. I hope I don't need to fucking go down early and do all the
media stuff.
Yeah.
Have you not been asked about doing any media stuff yet?
No.
That would be an interesting thing. Have you been media trained at all? No.
No.
That would be difficult, would
The
it?
amount of shite I chat like I'm doing now. Honestly, my first interview. No, sorry. Yeah, well, would have been my first interview. Was my second fight. And I ended up going on about my profile picture being my dog and shit. Like, the boy, have you got social media? I was like, yeah. How can we find you? I was like, just fucking just search Corey. And he was looking at me like, I was like, just search Corey McCulloch and you'll see a picture of me and my dog. And he was just looking like, what the fuck? What am I meant to say, man?
No, it's difficult when you get thrown in first time in front of a camera. You know what I mean?
You think of the hype
after you've just came off adrenaline dump.
You're fucking like, because I never had a t-shirt on. And I literally walked back from the ring to the changing room. He says, "Can I get a quick interview?" So I'm fucking pie in the sky.
Yeah.
And like,
I just love my dog, mate.
Absolute shit.
Just love my dog, mate.
I was chatting absolute shit. He was on about Arbroath Football Club, and at the time that's when they were starting to fucking
do their up.
But I didn't really follow.
Nah.
He was like, "Oh, hear your football team's doing well." I was like, "I don't fucking know." I just agreed. I goes, "Oh, yeah, man."
They're flying, man.
I had no idea. I knew they were kind of doing well. You see stuff on like social media.
Yeah.
But I never knew what they were doing. I didn't know how close they were to like, getting promoted and stuff.
What's she asking you about football for? Like, after a fight, man.
Fucking still wearing my boxing gloves. Nobody prepares you for stuff like that.
No, you just get thrown into it.
No, yeah.
You either sink or swim in it.
Oh,
but you're
100%.
quite good like that, man. You're quite. You can chat to most
I've
people.
enjoyed
you know?
it. Like I say, I barely give a fuck about anything.
Mm-hmm.
I've got everything that I need in my life. Like, a lot of people use it as a promotion tool.
Yeah.
Like they try and make themselves sound like somebody they're not. Like even sound like this, like a podcast.
Yeah.
Or a video they try, or like a lot of boxers do. I don't know how they fucking do it. I'll never do it. And they do videos on their Instagram and stuff, and they chat to the camera.
Oh, to the live stream or whatever it is. Yeah.
And I'm like, how the fuck? What are you doing, man? I once done what was the company? Was it Gloves Red? It was some platform, boxing platform, and there was me, and there was actually a guy done it. Fucking phone. The guy done it. Chris, and his boys away fighting the UFC. He was on before me, and
Chris Duncan.
I think it was him.
That's mental.
Ginger hair.
Yeah. Well, strawberry. Yeah, like blonde, but
like,
quite. But
looks mean.
Yeah. Chris Duncan's mean, boy.
He done. So it was like a Instagram takeover.
Yeah.
Right, and the boy asked, "Would you like to do it?" And I was like, "I know, bud." Like, he gave me the account. You log in. He done it before me, so I was watching it because obviously I followed the platform, whatever it was. Not platform, the fucking page.
Yeah.
And I've seen his stuff.
Was it
like,
IFL?
maybe.
IFL TV.
And maybe was.
Was that that's the boxing one?
Maybe, in fact, I don't think it was. That's quite a big one.
Yeah.
This was an up and coming thing.
Right. Okay.
And when I was watching it, because obviously I followed the page, and this Chris was doing it, and it was just fucking as cool as you like, fucking in the gym, talking about what he was doing. My fucking first video. This was. I'm sure this was the day after. So he done the takeover, and then I done it. And I logged in. Me and my dog. Back to the dog. In a field, in the hospital field, fucking house, in the big field, and the amount of times I recorded the first, because it wasn't live.
Yeah.
You just record it and you post it on the story.
Yeah.
I'm sure at one point I didn't know where the fucking dog was in the field, because I just kept walking up and down saying, "Hi, I'm Corey fuck, delete that. Start again." 20 takes.
What does that remind you of?
Do you know what? I was just gonna mention that he asked me to do a video once. So I was away for a work thing in Germany, and I was like climbing this fucking mad hill in Germany, and he asked me, he was like, "Can you send me a video about the fact that the next podcast episodes come out and you're in Germany? Like, send me like a video to do for the podcast." Honestly, I'm walking through the hills of fucking Germany, topless, sweating, trying to record a video, being like, "Listen to the new StankCast, guys." Honestly, it was awful. Yeah, easy 20 times.
I'm comfortable just sitting chatting shit.
Yeah. It's easy. That's why we like doing this, man.
But you feel when you record it, you've got unlimited takes.
Yeah.
So most boxers in Scotland do this. When they're out running, they'll video themselves bouncing about. And they're pissing and sweating and they're looking, they'll give the thumbs up. And I'm like, when I'm running, I'm breathing out my fucking head. Like, I couldn't hold the phone. It's in my pocket.
Well, everyone's just trying to build themselves, innit? They're all trying to build a platform.
I think that's one of my biggest downfalls in my career is not trying to do that. I know, guys.
Listen, it's difficult doing that stuff.
It is, but I've never been interested in that. Like I say, I just like being in the ring, all the feelings that go with it, the fight. That's it. But a lot of guys I know have got websites and everything to sell their tickets.
Yeah.
They promote themselves. They do really good. They get loads of sponsors and shit. They're so good at it, like the promotion side of it. Whereas,
well, it's hard. See, when you come from a little town like Arbroath, man, it's so difficult because we've not got the opportunity like people in Glasgow and Edinburgh. They've got a lot more opportunities.
I feel bad saying this. Well, I don't actually, because it's fucking true. Arbroath. There's a lot of people in Arbroath that want you to do well. Yeah. Right? But they won't want you to do too well. And
probably, very true, mate.
A lot of people have mentioned this to me, and a lot of people have said they don't notice it anywhere else. Even other towns around, Arbroath's quite famous for it. Not famous, but like it's quite
well known for dragging you down.
So if you end up blowing up, right, people will happily support you just now.
Yeah.
Because you're on the way up.
Yeah.
See if you start getting a bit.
That's kind of like keeping your place, isn't it?
People are like, whoa.
Yeah, just you remember where you're from.
Don't do too well. Don't do better than me.
Yeah. It's very true.
Not everybody's like that.
It's a bit of a small town mentality, man. It's a little bit like that.
You do something different, we'll support you to start with. But if you start fucking doing a bit too good for yourself, then no. No support for us.
Yeah.
Come back down here.
Yeah, you start making me feel bad about myself, and I'm going to be fucking...
Honestly, and I feel... I mean, Shug, my coach, when I was offshore when I first got my pro licence. Yeah. Shug actually told me, I'm not going pro with you, because he knows what I'm like. I just got a job offshore. I was coming home for 3 weeks on half decent money.
Yeah.
I was going to be in the pub for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
No kidding, right? That was his thought, and that was 100% my thought. But I still thought I could done it. So I actually got somebody I know to message my current manager. I hope he never hears this. He actually messaged him to say, "I've got a boy that's wanting to turn pro. He's pretty good. Blah blah blah." Bear in mind, I had fought amateur and stopped the boy in my last fight. God knows how, it was unfit. Still smoking at this time. Blagged my way into meeting my manager today. Went down, chatted shit up, training all the time, blah blah blah. Yeah, want to fight. Managed to get into. So to get your pro license, you need to go meet with the boxing board, the control.
Yeah.
It's like fucking weird as fuck. Massive table, and you're sitting there being interviewed by them on. Like, what makes you think you could go pro? I don't know. Just do it.
Just like fighting.
So my manager actually had to say, "Oh, he's down at my gym quite a lot, and he's sparring one of my top guys, and he's holding his own, so he's good enough." It's like, he's talking shite. So it's a bit. Shug never knew any of this was happening.
What's going on?
I put all this in motion, and he was oblivious. He was like, because it's a big commitment for him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
why,
yeah.
if he goes and agrees to all this,
Could be
and I'm
wasting
out all
his
the
time.
it's just fucking a lot of money is invested, and it's just not worth it. And like, he was right in the way he was thinking, but he didn't have an option once I went fucking through all the loopholes and managed to get it.
Backed him into a corner.
Yeah, he didn't have, because he mentioned it. We had spoke about it, but when I got that job offshore, everything changed. I'm sure, in fact, my last amateur fight was the night before I went offshore.
All right, okay.
So, weeks prior to that, if you want to do it, we were on about turning pro, but I was still working. I got this job last minute offshore. And I mind, I was actually sitting on, it was a boat I worked on, a well intervention vessel, and I was sitting in the smoking shack, smoking a fag, messaging Shug, "I've got what it takes, I won't let you down." Like, honestly, there's no word of a lie. And I'm sitting thinking to myself, smoking a fag, like, what behind? Like, I'm lying, and me and Shug go fucking way back, like from when I was like 14, 15. I'm barefaced lying to him, but I'm convincing myself at the same time. So
Yeah. It's
I
obviously
stop.
something
Yeah,
you really
yeah.
want to do, though, isn't it?
if it goes ahead and I manage to get through with it, I'll stop smoking. Which I did.
Yeah.
Eventually, but I
It's
just
hard.
needed that push. Oh, it's fucking nailed.
It's so hard.
I always look like, you've got 8 weeks training camp, right? I'll stop smoking for 8 weeks, and I would. But as soon as the fight was done,
Straight
like,
back to it.
on the
Pints
night
and
of the fight, I
tabbies.
was straight outside with my mum. Like, there we go. Like, fucking idiot. But I'm glad I've stopped now. It's been like.
When do you
3
think it
years.
was that you started like taking it like really seriously?
I think
Or are you still kind of like up in the air about it, like
I'm
you're just doing?
serious just now.
Yeah.
I think I've got a lot to lose, and I know how dangerous it is. Like, if you don't, the level I'm at just now, the guy you're fighting are pretty good.
Yeah.
You slack off and you don't take
can
it
get hurt.
serious, you can get really hurt. But I fought a boy down south. I got stopped with a body shot in the first round. You've probably seen. Fucking devastating. That next morning, I was in Witherspoons here. Not the next morning, sorry. I got back midday, went to Spoons, and I was scooping away. And my manager phones. I was half cut at this point, and he was like, "Look, just forget about that. Didn't worry about it too much. It was a big risk. It was like what I'm doing now,
Right.
but on a smaller scale." And I was starting to get a mental heat on. I was like chatting absolute shite on the phone to him, and he mentioned the Scottish title fight. He
Yeah.
says the plan, but I didn't want to mention to it just now because you had this fight on coming up, but that was the plan. Irrelevant to the result, your next fight was going to be a Scottish title, and that's when I kind of realised, like you said, when I've had my debut and I seen my mate
Work with
I
Dean.
was like,
yeah.
fucking hell, I could actually, I had no interest in winning it, just fighting 10 rounds. I was like, that'd be a dream, just being able to
It's such
say
an
I've done that.
experience as well, isn't it, if it lasts the whole 10.
Fighting journeyman 4 rounds, if you do that all your career, what you walk
What
away
you've done,
What
yeah.
you've done? You've done nothing.
Yeah.
Like, just experience a 10-round fight.
Yeah,
And
challenge
that's
yourself.
when it kind of triggered me, like, fucking hell, you actually I stopped that. I did go out that day. I wasn't going to stop.
Oh,
Yeah.
You're already half cut, man, you know what I mean? Might as well finish
People are
off.
wasting the buzz, man.
Madsen was sitting, like, I took her out for lunch. I was scooping away. He was on loudspeaker. She's looking like, shut up. and I'm fucking just chatting. Aye, I'll fight. Absolute belly. I'll never forget that. But yeah, that was a bit of an eye opener, because then you realise like everything, how I feel after a 4-round fight. At that point, I was exhausted. I was fucked. I could never have done 10 rounds.
Yeah.
So you think you've trained hard before the fight before the 4-round fight. You think you've trained really hard when you're coming up, and you realise how fucked you are, and you think, well, if I need to do double that plus more, how hard do you need to train then? So it is.
I've said that to him before. It's like game day, like cardio and thing is completely different from training. Do you know what I mean? You have to be you have to be able to do like 3-4 times the amount you can do in training to just make the fight.
It does help, the adrenaline, the like the buzz on the night. Everything kind of, it gives you that wee bit more of a push. But it's like you say, that's why journeymen are here. Like, that's why they do their job, because you realise when you fight them and they kind of rough you up a wee bit for 4 rounds, and you think, fuck, I'm not fit. And you think you've trained for 8 weeks hard. No, you need to up it times 5 to fight for a title type thing. And that's why you need this apprenticeship in boxing.
Yeah, especially with like your journeyman, like they've had so many fights that it's like there's not so much nerves, there's not so much. They're just coming in and just fucking.
They could pace
getting
themselves
on with it.
for 40 rounds, and you could give everything, and they'll be able to toy around for you for fucking countless rounds, honestly. But journeymen are an absolute godsend in our sport, and like I say, I do think I'll go down that route once I've went as far as I can go. Just so I can maybe buy something, maybe another flat, and then I can look back 20 years down and think I've still got this money coming in from boxing.
Yeah,
you know what
okay.
I mean? Instead of walking away with fucking less
Try to be smart about
brain
it.
cells and having nothing to show for it but a fucking leather belt. You know what I mean? Financially, it would be nice to walk away with, have something to look back on and think that's because of boxing.
Yeah.
Not a squint nose and no money to show for it, kin. So.
Because I was gonna ask you that, obviously, after, if that's your plan, after you've finished this next fight, like have you planned for what you're gonna do after that, or is this it's a big chance and you'll just see what happens?
I wouldn't like to not defend my title, because I've noticed that I never even thought about it before I had it. Yeah. But a lot of guys, they'll win their title. The next move will go for another title, or they'll go at another weight class, or they'll do something like that, so they don't lose theirs. Yeah. Like essentially, that could be what I'm doing just now. I'm going to fight down south. I don't lose my title, but at the end of the day, I've fucking won it. It's mine. Yeah. If I get beat, I still won it. I'll still look back. Yeah. If I vacate or retire with it,
you never know what could have happened. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make much of a fucking difference. I've done what I had to do to win it. That can never be taken away from me. Yeah. So I probably will defend it, just so I'm not a fanny and trying to avoid it, because I'm not. I would hate to be retiring.
It is a problem in boxing. A lot of people do vacate the title to move on to do something else.
The avoidance game is fucking
ridiculous, isn't it?
Madness.
You even see it at the high pro level. I mean, like at the top of the game, you see people doing it all the time.
Because styles make fights, right? So you could be like, most of the world could think a certain person will beat a certain person. Yeah. But in your own head, because all boxers have their own thoughts in their fucking head, right? Your coach could be like, fuck, you've got his number all day. But in your head, you're like, I know I don't. I'm scared. This doesn't feel right. I don't think this is a good fight for me. But maybe me would never say that out to somebody. Like, fucking, I'll take him. It'll be fine. But these top levels, like you like say Canelo and stuff like that. Not him, because he'll fucking fight.
He'll fight anybody.
Yeah. But even at his level, there'll be guys that his style is just either, if you're a kind of back foot fighter, that's just.
So you look at the Errol Spence Crawford fight. That was a big one that got the style made fight. The style, everyone thought Errol Spence was going to win that fight, and Crawford blew it. Surprised everybody because of his style.
Do you think that Errol Spence before that knew in his head, I think this is going to end well, but you can't show that.
Show any
if everyone thinks you're going to win, you can't be like, oh fuck, this is a bad one.
Before, like if I get interviewed at this fucking media thing in a couple of weeks and they say, how do you feel? I'll be like, fucking shitting it. Like, I'm not going to fucking lie and be like, I think the guy's good. Like, I'm here to watch fucking Wanton and Wood and get paid and have a good Christmas. Thanks for having me.
Let's hope I win.
If I win, I win. It's just a bonus, kin. But yeah, I don't know why people
So you're not putting what I'm seeing here is you're not putting a lot of pressure on yourself, which is class for such an event, man.
What have I got to fucking lose?
But what about that walking out in that into Sheffield Arena?
As long as I get good fucking profile pictures taking when I'm walking it.
Yeah,
as long
okay.
as see if my name's up in lights,
Yeah.
that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do you know what your walkout music is?
Nah.
No, you're
I
not
always
chose
do
that
it
yet.
last minute. I always get in trouble because I get a text like, and then
What was your last one?
Do you not have like one tune that you
No,
would always
I
go for? You like
always
always
change
mix
it.
them up. Yeah.
always
Okay.
change it.
What's normally the vibe?
So my debut, my pal told me to walk out to Red Hot Chili Peppers, Can't Stop, which is great
Yeah,
because
it's
it's
a
got
good
like that. It's
The
got
crowd.
it needs
Yeah.
to have a build up, but it can't be too long, or you look like fucking idiots. Like everybody's
Standing,
waiting,
just- yeah.
Yeah,
and you're standing in the changing room, well, like
Behind the curtain,
backstage,
yeah.
like fucking hell, this is, and you know in your head when it's taking too long, if this is taking too long, people are expecting to see me, and you don't show up for about another minute and a half. So it needs to be like a slow build up, and then something that people enjoy. So that, and I can't even mind. Madsen usually picks them for me, and they sound good when she plays them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll walk it to that, and I'm under pressure. I'm like, fuck it, that'll do. And see when you walk out to it, or walk out to it, you're like, oh, fucking idiot, man. That sounds
No.
terrible. Like there's no.
Have you ever thought about just putting on something mad? Like you see Mike Perry walked out to Beyonce's Halo.
That was an accident.
I know it was an accident, but it's still hilarious.
People like him can get away with it because they're fucking maniacs.
Yeah, but that's you as well. You're a bit of a maniac too, man.
See,
Yeah, if anything,
There's-
you've got a Mike Perry fighting style. Go at it.
it's what like when I'm walking out to a fight, is your mindset is completely different.
Yeah.
You're scared. If anybody tells you you're not scared, it's fucking lying.
Mm-hmm.
You're scared, like you're obviously nervous. You want to be in the right headspace. If you come out all smiles and you know people are laughing because came out to a funny song,
Yeah.
it just, I suppose
Puts
it's
you off,
easy
maybe.
mode, but yeah, it would put me off.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think.
I'm not saying try it on this fight, but maybe try it
No,
one
maybe
day.
not that one.
Maybe not this fight.
Maybe the home one. I always have ideas. I listen to a song when I'm out running, or a song comes on
Mhm.
randomly when I'm out running, and I'm like, that'd be fucking great.
And then you forget it.
And then I completely
Yeah, yeah.
forget it.
I'd have a ridiculous song, like, for sure. I'd have something mental. I don't know what. but
I was
something
going to
mental.
say, have you got it? No?
Nah, absolutely not. I just know it would be something fucking weird. But that's because I think for me, like, the more ridiculous it was, that would be pressure release for me. I'd be like, Abdi's laughing, no one's taking me
I
seriously.
can
It's fine,
100%
like, just go.
see. I can see where people come from, but I like to think of it. I like to be serious when I'm walking in
Yeah.
there.
Try and take the sport as serious
Yeah,
as
I
you
suppose
can.
Yeah.
if you have a full on scrap with somebody, it's yeah.
If you're at
There's nothing
smiles
worse.
and you don't, I think nerves, and the more nervous you are, if you can keep your nerves under control. If they're there, if they're not there, I'd be
Mhm.
worried. But when they're there, you're more switched on. You're a lot sharper because of the nerves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
You're more vigilant to what's coming at you. Whereas if you were fucking mega relaxed
Dancing
and
away.
unnervous,
Yeah.
you'd be so easy ozy. That's when
Yeah.
you get caught. You get caught with these little gloves on. It's well, fucking
Anyone
watch
can go
anyone.
down.
You go down,
Mhm.
fucking. You get caught in the button
Yeah.
with these little gloves on. It hurts, man.
What's the difference like in sparring? Obviously, like getting what size gloves do you wear?
So 16-inch
16 inch.
gloves for sparring.
Yeah.
Got head guard on.
And then when you're fighting,
This one will be 10
10
ounce.
ounce. Yeah.
10 ounce.
So what's what is the difference between?
like
6 ounces, mate.
Oh, shut up,
the
fucking idiot. Bro.
obvious one's 6 ounce.
But what? How?
See,
What
when
is?
you put them, like my debut in Aberdeen, it was these Everlast things we had on, and when I put it on, you getting hands wrapped different, and when you're actually fighting,
Yeah.
you slide them on, and I could feel my knuckles through the leather, and I was like, holy shit, this is
Oh.
amazing.
Yeah.
And then the ball dropped, I was like, that motherfucker's wearing them as well.
Yeah.
So it's all fun and games when you've got them on, but then
See, when you took that first shot with the 10 ounces, what's the difference? Did you instantly feel the difference
it's
and go,
it's
whoa?
more of a, so in sparring, if you get, it's more annoying getting hit.
right.
Like,
Okay.
fuck's sake,
So you
should've fucking
definitely
avoided
feel
that.
it more.
But when you get hit with them, it's like a dunt. It's like
Right. Yeah.
it's like getting hit with a bare fist. It's like it goes right through your body.
Yeah.
It's
Mm.
surreal. But that's what
Okay.
makes, you don't need to hit somebody like you see boys hitting a bag and they throw everything into it. Like, you don't need to throw that hard to hurt somebody with these little gloves on.
No.
Like, if you catch somebody with a good shot,
In the right
like
place.
60-70%, it hurts like fuck.
Mhm.
And you can feel ribs when you punch somebody hard in the sit. You can actually feel the fucking ribs through your glove.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
sick of it.
It's
This
That's
is
pretty
great.
good.
it's
It does
it's
sound to
good
be fair.
knowing that you're doing the damage like that on somebody, but When you get hit with it, it's a bit different.
Yes, that you said you got dropped by a body shot. I can't imagine what that's like. A big
Body.
big
If
kick.
you've
Was it in
never
the kidney or something?
experienced, there's in the solar plex the one I went down with. If you've never experienced a body shot like that, like when you and you drop shit to your knees,
You've got no control
you
over
need
it.
to,
Yeah.
there's nothing
It's
you
just
can
your
do.
legs go. innit?
I've been dropped by a body
It
shot
is
once.
the
Like
worst.
it was disgusting.
Like
It's
it is.
disgusting, yeah.
Fuck. I would rather get knocked out hitting the chin all day,
Mhm.
like 5 times a day, than one body shot a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do. I seen a thing on Facebook. It was a boy that was describing it. It's like a scientist that was describing what a body shot does.
Right. Okay.
But it's like it paralyzes you.
Because the organ shuts down, doesn't it?
Yeah, everything just goes on lockdown.
Yeah.
You're-
It's like everything just shuts down around it.
Because I stood up. Like I like to think myself as being tough. When I went down, the ref came over and I stood up, but I couldn't straighten myself. The ref said, "Come forward," and I leant forward and walked. And he was like, "Nah."
So you should have took
But
more
I got
time.
up.
Mm.
I managed to get up, which I was proud of. But fucking hell, see when people watching the TV and the boy goes down, like, get up.
Yeah.
This is a world
Yeah,
title
they're not-
fight.
You're
You're
not
like,
seeing
dude,
it, are you?
you can't. You
Nah.
literally, the toughest person on the fucking planet. You get hit by a proper body shot and you go down. You ain't getting back up.
Nah.
Mhm.
It's fucking horrible.
Yeah. In the right spot, anyone can get dropped.
Oh,
But
100%.
everyone says it, but it's true, isn't it?
See it all the time. What is it that Javante Davis and what's his
Garcia.
boy name? Yeah, that was a crippling left, and he did the same. He got up and then was like, "Oh no, I can't." And
Yeah,
folded
yeah.
again.
It's because right now, if you have that, if you get hit by a shot like that, and you get down, you're like, I'll get up because you're not feeling nothing just now, right? But in the heat of the moment, you're tired, sweaty, and it fucking kills. And you're
Yeah.
like, it's just the
Yeah.
recovery from it. It's like you just instantly give up, and your head's telling you to get up, but you can't.
Yeah, it's just
It's
not
just
functioning.
horrible,
Totally
man.
take all your cardio because you can't breathe properly.
and then you know, you get up, you make that 10 count, you get up, this cunt's gonna fucking do a 100-meter
coming,
dash
yeah.
in your face. So you've got another fucking however long's left in the round to
Yeah.
survive.
Yeah,
And
then
you
you
know
know
it's
it's-
take another body
I've
shot.
hurt you, motherfucker. Next round you're for it, and then
After a shot like that as well, the ring gets smaller and smaller.
it's just
The feet don't move as fast.
horrible,
Yeah.
horrible stuff. Hopefully that doesn't happen in a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
Well,
you
we can't
you
deal
said
with that.
yourself in the thing. If you're in a fight, you're gonna get dropped. So
I don't know what happens, man. Like that's one. 3 times I've been caught in the chin, and I instantly like you go down, and I get straight back up,
Yeah.
and I'm
Mhm.
fine. Like it's like nothing happened.
It's just like an instant switch off
It's-
as your
yeah,
legs or
it's
something.
like the classic like a flash knockdown.
Yeah.
But as soon as I hit the deck, I'm experienced enough to realise don't jump up to prove you're tough. Like a lot of boys make the mistake, they go down and they jump straight back up,
And then
thinking,
they're
"Didn't
wobbly.
hurt,"
Yeah.
and they're wobbling. The ref's like fucking hell, he's
Calls
good.
it off. Yeah.
Whereas be experienced, take your knee, even if you feel brand new, just take that fucking 6, 7, 8 seconds just
Then
to
get up,
recover,
Yeah.
stand up, and then as long as that I like to, if I get put down, I try and retaliate. So if you come at me to finish me, I'll throw fucking fire with
Big
fire.
overhand
Yeah, yeah.
or
And
something
Make
coming
you
out. Yeah.
make you think fuck, he's obviously not that hurt. Whereas if you just cover up and let somebody put it
They're
on
going to
you,
unleash. Yeah.
they know you've got you. If you fight
Mhm.
fire with fire, then there's a chance you might hurt them and they're like, "Oh, you bastard, he's actually fine."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll,
Even
I'll
if
take
you're
a step
not,
back a
you
little
can-
bit. Say,
You know they're
yeah.
coming. You know they're running in as well. So if you can catch
100%.
them as they're coming in,
Because they'll
It'll
be
push them back,
excited.
yeah.
They'll think, "Oh, he's going to cover up.
finishing him
I'll
here."
throw
Yeah,
bombs."
yeah.
But
you
No.
catch them coming in, it'll make them think
oh,
twice. Like,
100%.
well, we're looking for a big upset on October
definitely,
7th, man.
yeah,
I'm
that'd
honestly
be-
so buzzing for it.
Well, doing
Be
10,
good,
I'm
man.
gonna watch
Yeah,
it. Like,
man.
so
You were wanting to ask him about the MMA side?
yeah, I was thinking about this. Have you ever done any MMA fights
I didn't that. I
in the
thought-
Dundee Ice Arena?
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew it. I
Yeah.
fucking knew it.
That was.
I remember that. I was there because Johnny Moreland was fighting on that
Yeah.
card. Yeah, I was there watching that. I said to him, I was like, something is telling me in my brain for 100% that I've watched Corey McCulloch have an MMA fight.
Mate, I've done K1 kickboxing. I won a K1 district title, which is. I'm sure the title was fucking found in the street. what I'm doing now, like stuff like that, is irrelevant.
Yeah.
Like to boy amateurs coming up, that's a big deal, right?
Yeah.
But
Mm.
back, I just done it because I'm sure I got a phone call the week before, 2 weeks before. Do you want to do a K1 fight? I was like,
Aye.
You said fight. I'm in.
it's for a title. Yeah, I'll do it. And then I didn't know the rules, so I phoned Mark Navarro.
Bob Navarro from
I phoned him, and because I'd trained one before, and I phoned him and says,
Oh,
"Here,
mad.
what's the fucking
the guy, the
rules?"
beer knuckle boxer guy
Yeah,
that I was
yeah.
showing you from Dundee.
He still had his gym up and running. I phoned him and goes, "What's the K1 rules?" And he's a bit fucking mad.
Full on.
Yeah.
So he was fucking get over. I was sitting. I mind sitting on the bedroom floor. My back was against my radiator. Don't know why I was sitting on the floor. Doesn't matter. And I was sitting. I was on the phone to him, and he says, "Why don't you come up? And we'll go do some sparring. And I'll show you." And I was like, "Perfect." So I drove. Obviously, it was in Dundee. Drove up my van, pulled into fucking his car park with Blink 182 blasting into the van. I was smoking a fag, so I pulls up. And Mark, like, he had shutters to his gym, and the shutters were half up, and I could see him. He was standing, and he was doing like the fucking wingmill kind of like stretching. Type
Yeah.
There's like 3 or 4 other people like there, and his hands were all. He had these wraps on,
Wraps up, yeah.
and then duct tape around his wraps. And I was like, "I'm
What's
on
going
mowing."
on?
I was like, "What the fuck if I walked into?" So it goes in, and goes, "Right," and he goes, "How many rounds you want to do?" I was like, "I don't fucking know." Like, so we'll just do some boxing. I was like, "What the fuck?" And I had too much pride to go, no, I just want to learn some rules. I was like, I will do some boxing then. I never took my head guard because I thought I was just going to learn some rules. So I put on fucking boxing gloves. He's got fucking boys in his corner. I'm on my own in his boxing ring. Like, oh my God. Bear in mind, I got 2 weeks notice. So I'm not training. I ain't training. I just thought I'll take a fight in Dundee.
Yeah.
So we'd start doing it around. Mark's is relentless. He's like he's
legit.
tough as fuck.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't think he knows how to take a back step. Tough as nails, and he is fucking jabbing my head off, man. I'm fair enough. The first round, 3 minutes, it was quite good because I was fit for 3 rounds.
Yeah.
3 minutes, and the next thing we done 5, and then he was like, "Right, that's enough," because
He's
I
punishing you.
was fat. I drove back to my girlfriend's mum's. And blood in my hand, down my legs, down my quads.
Oh man!
Like, it was like, this is a fun. My nose was fucking swollen.
I just wanted to know the rules.
That's all I wanted, and all I learned was nothing. I had to learn the rules on the night when we got. There's not much to it. I think I just had to know. You weren't allowed.
What were the main rules?
You weren't allowed to kick to the head when you are in a normal K1. I can't mind what the word. But the boy I fought had experience in K1. He had fights before.
Yeah.
And he obviously thought, fucking this idiot's never done this before in life. Cocky as fuck, but obviously being a boxer, knowing how to use my hands, fucking done me justice, and I made the little dick look like an idiot. The cocky little bastard.
I love that.
But going back to that MMA fight, that was another. I think we had 3 weeks to learn how to do grappling. Right,
Is that what?
I didn't know how to do MMA, man. I was a boxer.
I did think that because when you were thinking on the fight, it was Joanne had obviously told us who was going to be on the fight because we went to watch him, and I was like, I'm sure Corey just boxes. Like, I didn't think that this was they would be.
I trained with Jonathan and Cal when they were doing the stuff in Carnoustie. I'd been quite a lot, and I'd done some grappling stuff, but I didn't learn anything, and because it was such a short time.
Yeah,
like you were showing stuff. But you need to drill it. You'll know yourself. You can't.
Yeah.
Right. This is how you would get out of this. You do it once. You know what to do forever.
Yeah. No.
You need to fucking repetition. But no, I didn't have time for that.
Yeah.
So I went in with it, and this guy Brian Borland, I fought, massive guy, unit of a man. He was actually sound as fuck after it, but standing up, I was marching him down the cage.
Yeah.
It's fine. This guy was a bull. I mean, God knows what he was on. Solid fucking guy. Massive. Fuck knows how he made 73 kilograms. But at one point in the fight, he just ran at me, speared my midsection, and he put me into the cage. The whole cage had a bow in it for the rest of the night.
Oh.
There's a big bow. Right? If you look, there's highlights online, not on my fight. The other fights, when they're going round the cage, you can see the bow.
Imprint of you.
Mental. He got me on the ground, and as soon as I was lying down, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm just covering up. It was a fucking idiot. But it was made out to be a big show.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want to box in that. Well, sorry, I want to fight on that.
One, yeah.
But yeah, I wish. I still think I want to come and do fucking
the jiu-jitsu stuff.
Yeah.
Oh mate, you definitely should. Like, it's fucking awesome.
I think just now would be a bit risky in case fucking I ended up hurting my shoulder.
Shoulder or something. Yeah.
Not right now, but once I'm done with boxing, I really want to do
even because they do. Obviously, there's like Muay Thai and stuff and like full MMA classes and that. Because
I would do that.
no,
you're not a fan of kicking that.
I love fighting, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they can't see their fucking.
Oh, the elbows and the knees,
mental.
and yeah, it's savage.
Mhm.
Like I
savage.
watched that. What's that Harrison boy down south? Is it Lee?
I think
Liam?
Lee Harris. Is it
Liam Harrison.
Liam Harris.
He is a fucking killer, man.
Oh, I don't think I know who it is you're talking
See
about.
if you go in he's
I don't think I do either.
he fights fucking all these guys.
I
And,
think you could. I think I know who you're on about. I just don't know why I'm
honestly,
missing the name. But
he terrifies me. I'd probably fight anybody in my weight class in the whole entire world. They paid me right, I'd fight them.
yeah,
Just my hands. See any of that stuff? Nah, couldn't find me enough.
It's dangerous, man. See those elbows and that.
he's
scary.
he fights on one
Underestimated.
FC, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Sometimes. Yeah, I do know who
Alright.
you're on about because he fought the Rod Tanger Super Leg, one of them. He thought he had a fight with one of them. I'm sure.
I'll have to
And
do some
yeah,
research.
He is mental. He's
Check
a
him
savage
out.
watching him.
Yeah,
Like
well.
it's
Because
wild.
he's just fucking he's mega famous. He
Mhm.
does a lot of stuff like podcasting and stuff. He
Okay.
gets around, but honestly, man, he fucking terrifies me.
Yeah,
Nice.
because you'll know Harry Welsh.
Yeah,
he trains
yeah.
box. Yeah, he trains at our gym.
Yeah,
He does all that, but-
When's that Montrose fight? Is that the week
21st of
after?
October.
21st
of October. Yeah.
Harry's another one I've been saying for a couple of weeks to get on here.
Yeah, we do need to get him on.
Yeah, he's
He's-
been boxing for ages.
Yeah.
He's training a lot now, isn't he?
he trains a lot. He trains in the morning, and then he's there for a
Does
decent
he?
part of the day, and then he trains in the afternoon as well.
Good on
So
him.
he'll do he goes in the morning. He'll do classes with our coach. He'll do drilling stuff, and then he'll do rounds and stuff with
Mhm.
him, and then he'll be in for maybe some other pad work, and then he does a class at night as well.
Yeah.
He's working hard. He's a beast, man.
Good on him.
he's savage.
He's a
He's in
great
some
boxer.
shape as well, man.
Of all the
He
people,
was never in good shape when he was boxing. He would get fit, but he was the
The-
same as me beforehand.
Mhm.
He would get
Go
fit,
out, party.
and then he would
Yeah.
go out, and then but
It's
from
different
what
kind
I've
of fit
spoken
though,
to
innit,
him-
as well.
Oh
When
yeah,
you're doing the jiu-jitsu, it's a whole it's a whole other level of
Yeah.
the whole body. You're working absolutely everything. You're working all the muscles that you've.
yeah. I
went for
really
once,
liked
man.
it, but the thing is, I knew if I'd done that, and I thought as soon I've still got a year and a half on my contract for what I've got just now, so
Yeah.
I can't do
Mhm.
nothing else. Well, I can't compete, but as soon as I started rolling about, I know within a month I'd be like, right, I'm going to fucking go on an MMA show.
yeah.
As soon as I know a bit about grappling, I'm going to fight on a big
And
show.
the thing is, see, our coach, he would absolutely be like, "Yep." He'd be
I
right,
mean,
he'd
I
be
know
right
I
on
can
with you to get
stand
you
up.
to do it.
I've got my distance. Like, you just shit, you learn boxing.
Yeah.
I'm already be ahead of a lot of guys that would
Yeah,
just be starting out.
for sure.
But I would need to learn. I
The
don't.
ground game.
See
I think I
someone
would
like
kicking. You don't need to kick, do you?
Nah, well, you don't have to, but it's good to know some leg ones. Just
Just get that.
as
calf
long as you
kick.
know how to check the kicks, you're golden.
Oh, I can't. I'm not flexible, man. I think
Nah,
I'd
you
be
just
able to
me
kick
neither. You just need
somebody's
to make them not kick you in the right
You
place.
lift your shin
As
and
long as you learn to be good at that, you'll be
I'd
glorious. Yeah.
manage that.
But because you just need to learn how to wrestle a decent bit, like how to
Yeah,
wrestle.
Or
and
just
so
stop
you-
the takedowns.
Yeah, because
Take down
if you
defense.
get taken down, you need to at least have
Yeah.
a little
Some
Scooby
form,
of what
yeah.
you're going to do, not just lie there like I did.
The thing is, I think you'd probably find
Turtle.
people that are good at sport like that, like because you're at such a high level in boxing, you'd probably pick it up fast.
Mhm.
Like people that are good at contact sport are good at contact sport.
Yeah,
Like,
I
generally
think
pick,
you would.
like
maybe
Harry
not the
picked it
kicking
up
side.
quick.
You'd
If
be
you know
able
what I
to,
mean, coming from a
like
boxing,
fitness, composing yourself, everything like that. You've already got.
you've already experienced someone try to fuck you up as
Yeah.
well. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
But it's
yeah.
the wrestling
Under
side that-
pressure.
The thing I
yeah.
like about I keep calling it wrestling because I can't say jiu-jitsu properly. The wrestling side of stuff, I like.
To be fair, it's called grappling, really. So if you,
Well, we'll
if you'd
call it,
rather
I can
call
say
it
that. I
yeah.
think.
Me in the
Well,
middle.
the grappling side of things, I think I would enjoy because it's not so bad for your fucking brain.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
And you've still got the competitive, like the competing side of it. You
Yeah.
can still go and do stuff at a high level, and not.
You can have
Yeah,
multiple
have a sore
matches in a
face.
day as well. Like,
Yeah, I
how
just
you
think-
go to
Yeah,
a
my last
tournament
one
and
I
have
had
like 4 or 5
like
matches.
11 matches.
Oh, there you go.
My
That's
last
good.
of it in one day, 11 5-minute rounds.
I'm not doing that. Now.
Yeah, but that's on me though. Like that's because I entered 4 divisions. Like I
Mhm.
entered loads
Oh,
of divisions
yeah.
on the day because like I a lot of it's just for experience as well. So I go
Well,
there and I just want to do
It's
as
the same
many
the
matches as I
amateurs.
can.
What does a loss? What happen? Where I'm at just now, a loss can set you back down the ladder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No title fights. You've just been fucking beat. Go back to the pack. Work your way up. If you
Yeah.
get beat doing that, what happens?
it's
You
I
learn.
did. I got beat a few times that last
You
weekend.
learn.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
Dude,
it's
the same as amateurs. People get cut up when they get beat. No,
Nah.
as an amateur, fight fucking everybody.
like what you're saying when you become like a high level pro, it makes a difference. It's the same as like in jiu-jitsu. Once you get to like competing on big shows, or once you get to like brown, like a good purple, brown, black belt, then at that point it matters. Like, that's
Yeah, a
when people
defeat
pay
can
attention.
set
But
you
at my
back.
point, like nobody looks at a black belt and goes, "Oh, I wonder what his blue belt record was." You know what I mean? They just don't
Yeah.
care.
Until you-
So
So gain the
I
much
can afford to spend
experience.
this time losing to learn
100%.
shit, and then it's later on that I need
You
to
talk
worry,
as
like,
if you
so-
lose a lot, though. I mean, the last time you were out, you won double gold and the silver.
Yeah, I know,
So
but
you still won a lot.
I'd still lost 3 of them though, so I still did lose.
Yeah.
So
How long you been doing it now?
like 5 years, like five and a half
Fucking
years.
hell, that's a long time to commit to, son.
Yeah, it is.
But you
So
can
it's
do that
effort.
quite long, though. You can do
I do it, like,
jiu-jitsu
5
for
days
quite a
week as
while.
well, mate.
Yeah.
It's intense, like sometimes. Yeah, it's a lot of graft, like. But yeah, like Steve said, like in even the jiu-jitsu competitions, they've got divisions that are like masters divisions, and the highest one up goes is like Masters 6, I think it is, and it's like 60 plus. So there's like grappling competitions for people all the way up
Fucking-
to
that's
being like
brilliant. That's-
much
I think
older.
I think that's the route I would like to go. Maybe not fighting MMA, but at least just grappling. Because when I'm done with boxing, even if it is a journeyman side of things, or even when that's done, I don't know what
Yeah.
the fuck I'm going to
You
do.
want to have your facilities by the end of it, you know what I mean?
No, you don't.
You want to have the
I
brain
I
be alright.
I feel I need something. I
Mhm.
need something to compete in, or just to keep me active, to keep me amused. Because I like being busy. I like doing stuff.
You were a
man.
keen footballer back in the day as
Yeah,
well, weren't you?
Well, that's how we got into boxing, because fucking football was cancelled. When Arbroath
Is
had
that
the
right,
youth
is it?
development team, I played for them, and training was cancelled one night, so I went down to boxing and got a little buzz for it. But I still played
brilliant.
football. I played football and boxed my whole
yeah,
amateur
together.
career. I would go back to football, but the only way I would go back to football is if I knew there was a path for me to progress into.
An actual
Maybe
team or
go back to junior, or
Yeah.
I honestly, no word of a lie, I genuinely think if I stopped boxing tomorrow and I went back and played football, I could get a game for a professional team.
As in, like, what level? We're
No,
talking
I'm
Arbroath.
Maybe just under.
Just under Arbroath. That's a very decent level, to be fair.
Yeah.
But I genuinely, but then,
Like Montrose or something.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
genuinely believe I could. But then if I go and play next Saturday,
It's a bold statement, you know.
and I'm on the pitch, I'm like, fucking hell, Corey, you're fucking nowhere near it. It's hot, and if I play 90 minutes now, I can't walk. The last time I played 90 minutes, I had to take the Monday off work.
Yeah, I was
I
the
was
same.
that sore.
I took like 6 or 7 years off football once I was away working, and it wasn't until I moved back to Perth that I played a game again. I played 90 minutes. After 20 minutes, I was on the side of the pitch throwing up. Came back on, and that, you know what I mean.
Football's hard, man. If you
You
don't
forget
play,
the graft. A winger, man,
fucking
up and down,
hard
up
work.
and down, man. It's
It's
constant.
hard work. Like, it's fair enough when you play every weekend. Your body's immune.
Yeah,
to it,
used
it's
to it.
fine. You go and take a year off and go play 90 minutes. Like, I honestly could. I
Different
walked
level,
back
like.
to the van with my shoes off.
Aye.
My feet were that sore, and I had to,
Blisters and that from your boots, innit?
if I don't work, I don't get fucking paid. I work for myself.
Yeah.
I had to take the Monday off.
Yeah,
Just
it's
couldn't
rough,
walk.
innit? Yeah,
I was
it's
that fucking sore.
Can't be affording that at the time, man.
Like you go and fight fucking 10 rounds, Corey, and then you go to work the next day or 2 days later. But you can't play 90 minutes at
It's
running
different,
on a
though.
grass pitch. I'm like, nah, I had blisters and all.
Aye.
Yeah.
The hips
Fucking
haven't been
sore.
moving
Yeah,
like
it's
that in a
different.
while,
The
but
most distance you have to cover is like this, whereas
Yeah.
on the
You're
football you're
moving like-
covering a fucking pitch.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Like
full
I
on
didn't,
sprinting
I
as
didn't play
well.
football. I played rugby, but I think I'd struggle to go back to that now.
Oh,
Like I'm
100%.
still like I still think I'd be pretty good at it. But if I went back, yeah, I feel like 80 minutes.
You'd probably be better now, to
I'd
be fair.
I'd be in a bad. No, I'd be better at the individual
Do
skills,
you
but
think
putting it all together
the-
would be awful.
The dedication you have now for
Yeah.
your grappling stuff. So that's the way I try and look at. Well, I wish I could turn back time, and have the dedication and the drive, the hard work that I put in my boxing. If I'd done that in football,
Alright, okay.
I kick myself sometimes.
Wondering where you could
But
have been.
everything obviously happens for a reason. I'm happy with what I've done, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a good place. But I just sometimes look back and think, see if I fucking actually worked hard and train in the morning. When I played football, if I trained Tuesday and Thursday, that's the only time I'd kick a ball.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
obviously the game.
The game on a Saturday, and that's it.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I wouldn't be doing anything.
Doing whatever you wanted. Yeah.
I'd be like,
Most of us were the same back in the day, innit?
Most people are, and that's why fucking
Nobody
so little people
take off.
actually go on and do stuff.
Yeah. Because they're not as dedicated as the people down south where they get picked up at the ages of 6 and 7.
And
They're
that's
in
the life.
academies, and then for
That is
5
the
days a
life.
week they're playing football. That's
Yeah.
why you get so many people down south that are way better.
Oh,
and that's where the country
100%.
does a lot better at the football game.
I just wish I'd started sooner as mine. Not even necessarily tried hard. Like I think the first time I ever showed interest to like MMA and stuff like that was when I was like 15. But it was just like watching on the TV and shit. And now I always think to myself, like, if I just started then,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I'd be 13 years deep by now. Like, I could potentially be as good as like the people fighting in the big.
It's sad thinking about it like that because I believe everything happens for a reason. If you done it back, a lot of boxers, if they have like, really big amateur careers, by the time they go to turn pro or they're getting to that turning point, they're scunnered with it. They've done it for so long. They're like, I'm just not interested.
Unless they've got proper aspects of being a world champion or something. Yeah,
like so many boys do, and they go on and do great things. But like you said, if you've done that when you were 15, by the time you get 20, you're maybe like,
I'd rather go drinking with the boys, sort of thing.
I'm not interested. But starting late, like obviously what I'm doing now, I've had my party days. I've done everything I've wanted to do.
Yeah.
Now I can focus on. I'm not missing nothing. I done all the fucking crazy shit that I wanted to do.
Well, we were saying off camera that the people say like you start your life at 30. You know what I mean? That's where you start because you're more mature. We were saying that off camera before, and it's right, isn't it? Like you start to see things differently.
Learn, it's like you see loads of shit online about spend your 20s learning, doing all the shit you think you want to do, and then realising you don't want to do it. Try the next thing.
Yeah.
Spend your 20s doing that, and then when you've
found it, 30, you might know.
When you're 30 and you've got your shit together.
Yeah.
Spend your 30s doing what you do, what you want to do, and then your 40s should be a breeze. I don't know how relevant that is going to be for everybody, but
I'll find out, like, because I'm 28 and I still feel like I'm fucking.
Yeah, we're coming close to 30.
I've got a few months to go, and then I'll text you and tell you I'm sorted now.
I've only got
the day I turn 30. I know.
Yeah, I'm done now, boys.
I've fixed life. I've done it.
We've got a year for the podcast to take off then, because I turn 30 next year.
Yeah, well, I've got a wee bit of weight.
Lucky you.
I know. But to be fair, it's only what month was it?
You're an idiot. 4 months.
A year and 5 months? Fuck off, 5.
You're February, yeah. So
I don't know how many hours it is till I'm 30.
I've
got a countdown in the house because that's when my life seemingly starts. But we'll see.
Well, Corey, man, it's been a pleasure having you on the pod.
No, thanks for having me, man. It's been great.
It's been good to have you back on, and we'll hopefully get you back on maybe after your fight or something.
Once you've caused the upset.
Yeah. I'll be coming in with gold chains.
Yeah, boss.
I'll get my driver to wait outside with me with the car on.
Well, don't forget us when you've made it famous, man.
Same with yous.
I will not be forgetting anybody, man. Be taking everybody with us up to the top.
Fucking
That's the plan. Many as you can.
Cheers everyone for listening again, and we'll catch you all in the next episode. Peace.
Peace.
Thank you.